Hi, so I just want to show you guys how we can go about recording our interviews with the students. Um, so what I've got here is I've got a document, a PowerPoint presentation, and this is a previous student of mine. And so what I'm going to do is talk you through the steps of how we'd go about doing this and recording it and saving it. So what I'm going to do is in the student's presentation, I'm going to come to the end here and I'm going to just insert a new blank slide. It doesn't really matter actually. I'm just going to open up a slide there. And what I'm going to do is I'm under the insert menu. I went to the insert up across the top there. Then I'm going to come to the right hand side here to the media, and there is an option there for screen recording. So I'm going to click on that, and what will happen is this little box up the top pops up. So what I need to do is I've got my one record pointer selected, and so that means if the student wants to show me around the screen and point things out, it'll record that. The audio, I've got a separate microphone, and we'll have a separate microphone set up for you guys that just plugs into your laptop. And so then I want to do the select area, and so it comes up with a little cross here, and I'm just going to go to the top corner and drag and then unclick. And so that's just now selected that screen, so it's just going to record everything inside that screen. Then when I'm ready to go, I'll be able to click the record button. So I'll get the student out, I'll get them settled in, and then I'm going to go back to the very first slide in that presentation. So I haven't hit the record button yet. I'm going to get myself all set up. Then I'm going to move it into display mode, and because I've got two screens, I just needed to switch these across. So now this is what the student's presentation looks like, and you can see I've got the little mouse going there. So when I'm ready to start, I'm going to click on the record button here, and it will come up and do a countdown for me, 3, 2, 1. And as it does that countdown, the little menu disappears at the top. And if I just hover at the top of my screen there, it brings this box back open. So if I want to pause it, or if I want to stop it when I'm finished, then I can do that. And when I'm actually doing the presentation, I'll just talk it through. So now I'd say, get to the kid and say, okay, look, here's your assessment. Okay, tell me about your question. Well, I wonder if there's a relationship between da-da-da-da-da. And so the kid might talk a little bit about that. I might ask them for a particular thing. Got some information here on their graphs, and then their analysis. They've just done some bullet points for me here, so I would get them to explain that in a lot more detail. And I'd go through and prompt them with different questions as we go. And I'd use the scaffolding in our assessment to do that. So when I get to the end of it, it's like, okay, fantastic. I've asked you some questions. I'm all done now. So I'm going to come back up, move my mouse to the top of the screen, and then I'm going to hit the stop button there. And what that does now is down in the slide number 8 that I've got down the bottom, it has now got a video here. And if I was to play this, so that is now a video. And so all I would want to do now is just save this. So I go up to my little save button at the top, and I save that wherever it was located, and now that has got that file saved. Alternatively, I could open up a blank presentation and do all of my students' presentations in here. So I could save them all in one file rather than doing them per student. It doesn't really matter how you want to do it. It's up to you. If I wanted to now save that, so I can just leave that in the document, but I can also right click over the top of it, and I can say save media as. And so this is now if I want to save it as a separate video file, and you don't need to do this. This is what I would need to do if I had to send it to NCQA, is I would then say, okay, save that, give it a title. I might shove that on my desktop and say, okay, let's call that test, and that now saves that as a separate file, but it's embedded within the presentation, so that's fine. If I needed to, there's the file here, and so I can now play this. And so that's how all of that works.